So like what you messaged me about saying like all you ever need is love, right? But then there's so much times where we keep looking for that, like I was saying, like that euphoric feeling. We keep looking for it, and a lot of times people do get like construed that it's like a like love outside. But or like outside love, or even like a romantic love instead of just a platonic love. And it's like sometimes with doing that you're searching for the wrong thing, but when it's within like and finding it within yourself.
That's also a reason why I've also stayed with my girl, because during those times when I've had enlightenment, like sure we have way different ways of loving each other, but I was able to understand that that was the way that she loved me, even though I didn't feel loved at the times that I wanted it.
Right,
you know, they were just the way I love is very touchy feely. Like I'll tell you I love you 10 times a day. You know, I want to be physical, and she's just not really like that. But there are times when I'm selfish, so I don't have the resources to help somebody when they really need it. But she's always gone out of her way to
like you
make sure
balance
that
each
I
other
was
out.
okay. Yeah, it's just like I'm the, you know, the far off the edge hippie guy that just smokes weed, and she's
the grounded.
Yeah, the grounded, like doesn't do anything, and is very responsible.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
also, you know, I feel like our emotional intelligences are quite different as well. Yeah, I feel like I'm really like way too aware of my emotions and everybody else's emotions.
I don't think you're too aware, because sometimes when you put like two, it makes it seem like a negative. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, you are where you're supposed to be.
I'm very aware, but sometimes I let it get to me. And then
nothing's wrong with that either.
No, I know.
Like letting it get to you sometimes it's just like you observing your emotions.
Yeah, and I actually had this, and I talked to her about this the other day, because like she's just doesn't know how she feels about a lot of stuff. And you know, I've tried to like connect with her, and it's just a whole thing where she's just like really emotionally detached even from herself. And you know, I want to help her because I love her, and you know, I want her to feel the love that I feel for her, but she just doesn't have that for herself, and it like really weighs on me. But I know that she loves me, so if you love me, you can love yourself,
right?
And it'll help you love me better,
right? Yeah.
But you know, we're just in that cycle of, you know, trying to figure out the first steps to grow.
That's crazy, because that's what happened with me and my husband. We actually almost went through a divorce last year, like in the beginning of this year, because I was just at that point where like I didn't want to be responsible for his emotions anymore. And it was a good transition because of how the outcome is out, but during the transition was so hard.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're going through too.
Yeah.
Because we're going to get married, but I've already seen how, like, I feel like our relationship is like the next generation after my mom and dad. Like, it's literally like so similar. It's eerily similar.
Oh, okay, I get you. See, I didn't have an example. My mom's a single mom. So it's like everything I'm learning is on my own.
What do you mean by responsible for his emotions?
Oh, okay, so like, especially like going, like being in church, like they always tell you, like, you have to make your man happy. But hardly do they ever talk about the women being happy. You have to cook for your man. You have to make him food in the morning. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to take care of the kids. You got to stay home. And if you're going to work, make sure you don't talk to nobody, like, especially guys, you know, like, you can't talk to guys. You can't have guy friends. And I'm like, I always had guy friends, so that stuff was weird to me. Like, so after getting married to him, he never really pressured me either to do this. It was me just listening to the church, and I was just like, shoot, so I don't have friends, because all my friends were guys. And it's like just getting out of that mentality and being like, shoot, I really did like coddle his emotions, because I have to make him happy. So if he's not happy, I have to make all his problems go away. And it's like,
that's where it's fucked with me, because I'm literally like that too, but I'm the guy. So it's like, I feel like something's wrong with me.
No. It's that fact that you're a fixer. Like how you're saying, like you attach to, like, not even saying that she's a negative energy or anything, but it's like you attach yourself to people who need you more than you could just work together. And like, I think that's what I've done, even when I don't notice it, but then I realize they're broken after a while that I've been like with them. And this is platonically too. Like, I let people get to me so easily. And it's like, it's because I just want the best. Like, I've been friends with meth heads before. because
Literally.
I wanted the best for them, and they drained me so bad, and they were like, it was just bad. And then so it was this mentality, this thing that my friend told me, actually, because she was going through a really bad situation with her baby daddy, and she used to go to like readers. So like, especially like Mexicans, we have a lot of them that you can go to find people who read you. And he told her specifically, the reason why bad things keep happening to you, even though you're a good person, is because you keep protecting his energy. So he's not getting his karma, you're getting his karma. And so that hit. And I was like, shoot. So I stopped. And once I stopped protecting, because at the moment too, we had another partner. Yeah. And so at the moment I stopped protecting both of their energies, stuff bad stopped happening to me. Because I used to wonder, I had broke my leg and I got my gallbladder taken out all within the same month. And I was like, why are bad things happening to me? I'm not a bad person. Right. Like, this isn't what? And it's because I was protecting them from their karma. And once I stopped, they stopped. Bad things stopped happening to me, and my relationship started getting worse with both of them. And so everything started flumbling, but I was elevating. Like, even though everything was flumbling, I started feeling better and better and better about myself and loving myself more, and like stop letting them drain my energy. Yeah. And like when me and my husband almost got divorced, so me and her fell off too, and then me and him started doing better. And so like now we barely even argue. We just argue about the simple stuff at the house, like wash the dishes, freaking do this, can you do that? But then we're not like going at it. You're not and then hating each other. Yeah, and also because within that time that we were like, where I was trying to love myself, I was telling him, you need to love yourself. I am not going to take your emotions anymore. You need to do this for yourself. Stop relying on me. And then he would like, he didn't know what to do, because I did it like, for him it felt like I did it out of nowhere. Yeah. But for me, I've been elevating to this point. Yeah. So that allowed him to be individual. Yeah.
You're like just a little bit farther than I am right now.
You know, it's crazy too. I have a friend going through the same thing, and I'm like, I feel like I've always felt like I have to go through things in order to help somebody else. Yeah. And it's literally happening. Like people are a few months before.
Yeah. I don't know how she's gonna do it though.
It's gonna hurt. It hurts so bad, but at the same time, they evolve.
Yeah. I mean, we're starting therapy, actually. We're supposed to have our first session tomorrow, like just over like Zoom.
See, I was always against that. Like, I wanted it for myself, you know, because it's like, the reason why is because
she's not going to do it for herself.
Yeah, see, that's how they were too, because I like, not forced, but I pushed therapy on them. And I'm like, this is why, because we're all individuals. You need to heal as an individual in order for it to be a unit. Yeah. But they didn't want to at the time. Except for now, my husband does go to therapy, and he actually likes it. He's like going more frequently, like almost every week now. And I'm like, see, because we have to build as individuals. Right. But we got married so young. We got together so young. It's like we didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't even know who you were at that point.
Yeah. I freaking barely started living last year. Like, it's crazy.
I don't know where I got it from, but for a long time now, I just must have had like an epiphany one day where it was like I knew that in some relationships I was looking to try and make somebody happy, and that they had to make me happy. And then I out of nowhere my whole entire just process just changed, my whole thought process, and it was, I'm not happy. I control my universe.
Right.
And if I'm not happy, then how can I be happy with somebody else?
That's literally
what
I just, that's the epiphany. One of the epiphanies that I just had recently. Because after all this unfolded, and I was talking to my dad.
I'm just making sure. Sorry.
I started breaking.
Gotta be careful what I say.
Yeah. I started breaking the cycle, because the first step to all this was, you know, telling my parents about everything that I've gone through since I've like moved out and left. So I told my dad everything everything that's happened to me since. And I mean, I've kept him updated on like basic stuff like work life and stuff like that. And I've kind of told him like I've been having a little bit of issue with like weed, but I never told him like the extent of my drug use, because it's just always filled with guilt.
Right.
And something was telling me, you better not ever open up to your parents, because you remember what happened when you open up to them and you were cutting yourself.
Right.
They're not gonna like you anymore. You're not gonna be their son.
Right.
And it was just
that's where you have to accept, like, I'm gonna tell them, and even though, because parents hit different, right?
Yeah.
And family in general. So it's like you have to come up to like like almost like repeat it over and over in your mind until you accept whatever they're gonna say, and whatever they're gonna say is not gonna change who you are.
Yeah.
And what you've done.
There's so many times when I'm like pissed off or anxious about something. Like both times when I broke it off with Israel and John, like I just did that. Like I went through every single scenario all day, every day of what would happen if we ever talked again, face to face, this close to us saying "fuck you." And it was just like so draining. And I've been doing this too with Carly because like at some point it almost feels like fuck.